What's good, YouTube? This is Ricky J, man. Welcome to the simulation battle between Khabib and GSP. The fight that a lot of us were anticipating and getting hyped up for, but sadly it's not going to happen because for all you guys that do not know, Khabib, who just put on an unbelievable performance, his best performance in my opinion, has announced his retirement from MMA. So this is the closest that we could ever get to seeing GSP going up against Khabib, and that is in the video game. So I thought, you know what, why not make this simulation fight and put it up on YouTube and just sit back, relax, and talk about Khabib and George and the fight that could have been. But for all you guys that do not know, man, I'm the biggest GSP fan. I'm Canadian as well, and I'm happy that this fight's not happening because GSP at 39 years old, I really felt like he just didn't have the tools to deal with Khabib. And after seeing Khabib dominate Justin Gaethje, man, holy cow, I'm just relieved that this fight is not happening. And Ariel Helwani actually interviewed George like moments after this amazing victory by Khabib, and by George's expressions on his face and his tone, he is relieved as well that he doesn't have to deal with Khabib, man. But I really felt that if George and Khabib met in GSP's prime, and I'm talking about during the days when George handled BJ Penn in the second fight and beat John Fitch in the Thiago Alves fight, that's when I felt George was at his best, when he put all of his high-level tools together. I really felt like it would have been a really competitive fight between Khabib and GSP. But now, like I said, it would be all Khabib. I'm not ashamed to say that Khabib would have taken care of George, especially at this point in his career. But it's a different story when you see GSP's fights from when he was 27, 28 years old. He was just a beast. It would have been a highly competitive fight, but obviously that's not going to happen. But let me know in the comments who you think would have won, GSP in his prime versus Khabib in his prime. But here we go, man. I'm still in shock, and I apologize if I'm kind of scattered with my thoughts, but I'm still in shock after that unbelievable performance by Khabib, man. It was just it was crazy because he is so good at planting that seed of his wrestling game into his fighting game and using that to make his stand-up game look so well. And he did that against obviously Conor McGregor. He dropped McGregor. He did it against Justin Gaethje. He did it against Poirier, everybody, Barbosa. But the way he did it against Justin was overwhelmed, kind of swinging away off balance. He didn't seem comfortable in the fight. He really looked overwhelmed, and you got to give much respect where credit's due. And Khabib is arguably the best mixed martial artist of all time. And I'll tell you, I never cheer for Khabib. And then once he announced his retirement and once he got the victory, I was cheering for him like no other, man. Much respect to him. But in the virtual world, we could kick back, relax, and make dream matchups like this. So let's see what happens. Let's see what happens in this simulation fight. And obviously, I'm gonna be cheering for George, but George has to be careful because, you know, George doesn't spend a lot of time on his back. And, you know, if you think about it, the only guys to really put him on his back was Josh Koscheck. John Fitch did for a little bit. And who else? Johnny Hendricks did for a little bit. And maybe Matt Hughes in the first fight. But other than that, George has been the buzzsaw that's been going through guys. So if these guys had to fight, GSP would spend some time off of his back. And George is really good at sweeps, man. The one thing I really love about GSP is how he's able to tuck his head under, grab a single leg, and reverse his opponents while he's on his back. But I think Khabib's wrestling would have been a little too much, especially at this point in GSP's career. But here we go. Without further ado, let's see how this fight pans out. Powered by EA Sports UFC 4. Mutual respect by both guys. And I have to give kudos to EA Sports because in UFC 3, the simulation fights weren't the best, man. Guys would be just staring at each other, not really doing much. But in UFC 4, they really made the simulation fights entertaining. So here we go. George, don't waste too much stamina, brother. Here we go. Thank you so much for tuning in. Yeah, and let me know in the comments, man, your thoughts on primetime GSP versus primetime Khabib or 39-year-old GSP versus Khabib now. Oh, look at this. George! Wow! Is he like working out with Karo Parisian with that judo action? And that's hard to do, especially with no gi. Able to kind of hip toss your opponent. And George, This is what George would need to do if they did fight, is shoot for takedowns on Khabib. And not a lot of guys would do this. You know, everybody pretty much had the same kind of game plan against Khabib. You know, just worry about those takedowns, try to keep the fight on the feet. This is what people need to do. Put Khabib on his back and wear him down. And look at this AI George. I'm impressed by your performance. George's got to keep it down. Nice, he denies him. And this is great. And did you guys hear what Nate Diaz put on his Twitter? After Khabib won, he put white belt. I think something like that. Which is pretty funny how he's trying to stir the pot. But look at this. Good denial by George, man. You know, I'm nervous. Another denial. And this is GSP 101, man. Just keep it tight. I like when he faced Matt Hughes for the second time. Oh, was it the second time? No, the third time. He played basketball with his head. When Matt Hughes tried to clinch him up in the mount, George just picked up Hughes and slammed him down to the mat. After the interview, he's like, I played basketball. You know, basketball. I played basketball with Matt's head. And then I took him out. But this is fantastic work by George. Is he going for a sub? No way. Is he going to chain it together? Oh my gosh. Is it going to be over? So crazy. No way. No way. It's over just like that. What? Unbelievable. It's done. We may have to do a best 2 out of 3. GSP shocking the world with an armbar. I don't think it would ever be that easy, but gets the W. Let's quickly, hold on here. Let's quickly reset this fight and see what happens. Let's make it a best 2 out of 3. I wasn't anticipating it being a first round finish, but it all started with that judo throw, and then George did a great job at neutralizing Khabib. And we don't really see, you know, a lot of Khabib's skills off of his back, and it's quite sad that we're not going to see that. Oh, look at George. Just a Superman punch to start things off. Nice. Here we go. And I'm switching things up on the fly. I was just going to do one fight. But now for all you Khabib fans, man, we're going to see a best 2 out of 3 matchup. And I'm hoping these next, if it goes to 3 fights, if these next 2 fights, I'm hoping they don't go to 5 rounds, man. It's going to be a big, long video. But look at this. Oh! And you know what some people said about George? Especially Sean Shirk. When Sean Shirk fought GSP, he's like, I honestly believe, and this is hilarious. I don't know if you guys heard this, but he's like, I honestly believe that GSP bathed the night before in baby oil. And a lot of guys used to do that, where they would just sit in a tub of baby oil and not take a shower. And then when they would sweat, oh, nice shot to the gut there. When they would sweat, their pores would leak out the baby oil, and it would be really hard to hang on to a limb, you know, hang on to a leg or an arm. So that's what Sean Shirk said. He was like, I've never fought a guy so greasy. Maybe he did. Nice kick by GSP. The one thing that George used to do, which was awesome, was when he used to cut weight. Most guys would cut weight in the sauna. Oh, he's hurt. You know what? Hold on. Oh no, Khabib is looking bewildered by GSP. Oh, a Street Fighter uppercut right there. But back to my point, GSP, he would not go into a sauna to cut weight and shed the water. He would take like 4 packs of you know, grape Hubba Bubba, chew it, and then when he got saliva built up in his mouth, he would spit it in a water bottle, and he would you know, accumulate like 3 or 4 water bottles. And he's like, this is the best way to cut weight because now you're not really shocking your body. Let me know what your thoughts are on that, man. Isn't that crazy? Taking a bunch of Hubba Bubba and spitting out your saliva. Oh my gosh, GSP's got to be careful here. But I agree with him, man. You're not shocking the system, and you're naturally releasing fluids out of your body. But what is this? We are seeing a primetime George. Is it? It could be over. Gets the mount. Is he gonna pound him out? It's over. GSP takes it. 2 fights to love. Unbelievable performance. And George has no scratch. I can go to the club and meet the ladies. What a victory. But for the record, man, let me tell you, if these guys had to fight, I know I'm repeating myself, I would say Khabib would win, man, especially at this point in GSP's career. But primetime George, you're going to have to roll with my brother from another mother, GSP. I would say George would have won by decision. But let me know your thoughts. Primetime George versus primetime Khabib. Who would win in a 5-round fight? But according to EA Sports, it's George. But I don't know, man. Let me know. I can't wait to hear your thoughts. Can't wait to hear your thoughts on the Justin Khabib fight and everything else that I mentioned in this video. All right, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. As always, this is Ricky J, baby. I didn't change my name yet. And you are awesome. I'm out of here. Peace.
Declaring the winner by knockout and new undisputed UFC welterweight champion of the world.
I'm not impressed by your performance, and I look forward to fight you in the near future.